Alright, welcome back to day 3 of jQuery for absolute beginners, and today we're going to be taking a look at the animate method. So if you come back, if you've been following along, I have this just very simple sample page. We have a blank div with an ID of box, and then just a little bit of styling. It gives it a width, a height, and a background of red, and that will produce what we have right here. So what we want to do today is have a way that when the user clicks on this box, we want the box to slide to the right, maybe 400 pixels or so. So let's see how we can do that. I'm going to come back to my page, and you can either put this in an external file, which is preferred, or to keep it simple, I'm going to put it in the main page. And I'm going to do the standard document ready. If you're unfamiliar with this, I recommend you go back to day 1 and day 2. This is simply stating when the document's ready to be manipulated. And I'm going to say, we need to say when this div is clicked, then run a function. So we can do jQuery, and then with CSS selectors, get the div with an ID of box. And when it's clicked, run a function. So open parentheses, function. We won't pass any parameters, so open, close parentheses. Open our bracket for our code, and then close it out, and then close out the parentheses, and it's the end of a statement, so I add a semicolon. Alright, and I want to say get this box, get this div, and slide it to the right. So shift it to the left, let's say 400 pixels. So I could just refer to it once again like so, get box, and then we would call .animate, which is the method we're going to be working with today. But you see how that's a little redundant? Get box click is function, and then find the box again. No, you can refer to, it's a keyword that I'm sure you're familiar with, maybe with other programming languages, referred to as this. And this is referring to the event. So jQuery this.animate is saying get the div with an ID of box that was clicked. So maybe if we had something like this, get all anchor tags, and when they're clicked run a function, this would refer to the anchor tag that was clicked. Alright, so this.animate, the way we're going to, as far as the syntax, we're going to do open parentheses, and then open bracket, close parentheses, end of a statement, add a semicolon. And we put in our properties here. So we'll have a property and a value, very similar to CSS, but the syntax is a little different. So we're going to put each in quotes. So in this instance, I want to move it to the left 300 pixels. So within quotes, I'm going to do left. And I'm going to separate the property from the value with the colon. So colon. And the value I'm going to say is 300 pixels. Now if I wanted to add one more property, which we'll do shortly, I would simply add a comma and then do another one. So I could do, top 100 pixels, like so. But we're not going to do that just now. So when the div with an ID of box is clicked, we're going to get this div that was clicked and animate it. And the animate's going to send it to the left 300 pixels. Let's see what we end up with there. Refresh the page. Alright, I'm going to click on the box, and you're going to see nothing happen. So I'm going to click it, and it doesn't move. So how come it's not moving? And the reason is it's bound by the same rules as CSS. If we were to bring this up here in our CSS and write left 300 pixels, it wouldn't adjust either. And the reason is we need to position it either absolutely or relatively. So I'm going to set the position to relative. And that will do it. Come back to my document, refresh the page, and now when I click on it, it's going to slide to the right. Click, and it slides to the right. That might be a little jagged because of the screencast, but I assure you it's a nice and fluid transition. So what if, just like with the slide down and the fade methods, I want to specify how long the animate should take? Well, after the bracket, I'm going to add a comma, and here I can pass in the speed. So if I wanted to take 4 seconds, I would type a comma space 4,000 milliseconds. Come back to my page, refresh it, and now it's going to animate over the course of 4 seconds, as you can see. Now, there's one problem with this that you definitely come across as you work with animate. Let's say we also, we want to adjust the width as well. So I'm going to do width, colon, and I'm going to change it to 50 pixels. So my idea here is I want it to shift to the left 300 pixels, and when that is done, then the width should decrease to 50 pixels. Refresh the page, and that's not going to happen exactly like we think. I'm going to click it, and you see that, how it's adjusting to the right and adjusting its width at the same time. So how can we write to say you need to make sure that this first animation completes before we start another one? And the way we can do that is something called chaining. So I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to create another one. Get this, .animate, open brackets, end of a statement, add a colon, and I'm just going to paste in that code right there. And when you're using animate with just one property, sometimes it's a bit easier to put it all on one line. But if you're going to use more than one property, then you should probably use multiple lines. But here, see, it's just a little bit more readable. Clean this up. Okay, so now get this .animate the width to 550 pixels, and we'll do that one over the course of 4 seconds as well. And this will take care of it. Now it will shift all the way to the right, and then the width will change to 50 pixels, as you can see. Alright, so that's been day 3. You took your first look at the animate method and chaining. We'll go much more into that over the course of the week, so I will see you on Tuesday or Wednesday for some of you. See ya. Bye.